Ellen Burrett and I'm on BSc Agriculture. I decided to work for British Quality Pigs down in Suffolk in East Anglia.
My name's Oliver Bright and I'm studying Foundation Agriculture. I went on placement to a place called Intercrop Limited based in Dover, Kent. I initially spent my first 3 months in Dover, Kent, and then from there I went for a 6-month trip to Spain, working out there in the Murcia region. And then I came back for a further 3 months in Dover, Kent, to finish off my placement.
I'm Matthew Rollison and I'm on BSc Agriculture with Animal Science. I, on my placement, went to a company called Cogent Breeding Limited, which is in Chester, and that's a bovine genetics company, spread out all over the world, but based in the UK.
My name's Alice Gibson and I do agriculture with Animal Science. I did my placement on a beef rearing and finishing unit in Carmarthenshire. The farm also had a small flock of breeding ewes and brought 500 extra store lambs in annually.
I'm Josh Darby and I'm currently at Harper Adams doing a degree in Agriculture BSc. For my placement year I went to Co-op Food to work on their agriculture team based at their head office in Manchester, and it was also twinned with ABP UK, the beef and lamb processor.
I had a lot of various roles. They included writing the monthly newsletter for the farmers. I was heavily involved in running health and safety courses, visits and tours of breeding and finishing units, involved in shows, in the Norfolk show, Suffolk show, Llama, cereals.
My roles and responsibilities were management, spray operative, tractor operative, general team leader, sort of general farm worker as well. Those were sort of my responsibilities and roles. Having such a lot of responsibilities was really daunting actually, but you sort of were chucked in the deep end for sure. But having that just getting on with it and sink or swim was really what made me carry on and get better and become a better individual and a better manager especially.
So the role was very independent and you weren't necessarily being told what to do. You had long-term objectives. The role was very much your own, but it did change day to day. So my responsibilities included managing the integrated calf scheme, reviewing our animal feed policy, running a project on antibiotic usage on farm, marketing, newsletters. It really changed week to week.
Basically all aspects of performance, so animal husbandry, feeding, bedding. Calves came in on site from 2 weeks of age, so calf rearing was quite a large part of it. Grazing management, and just responsibility of the farm and weekends and holiday periods. Also, I was allowed to sit in nutritionist meetings and give my views across. Being a placement student, a lot of people think you're not being given a lot of responsibility. That wasn't the case, and I was actually given a lot of responsibility and was involved in a lot of business decisions.
Whilst I was at Cogent, I was in the genetics department, so basically that entailed sort of getting involved with buying bulls, going on farms, looking at progeny, helping out with marketing team and doing a bit of sales support as well. Whilst you're on placement, you do definitely get a bigger sense of a responsibility in the workplace. I actually, as my placement went on, I got more responsibility. I actually got my own projects to do, like the Signature Beef newsletter. That sort of became my own project really, and especially working on marketing campaigns, you sort of get that responsibility passed down to you as you go on.
So I first saw the placement advertised on the Harper Adams website where all the placements are listed. I wanted to use my placement year to really challenge me and take myself out of my comfort zone and learn something completely new. And I knew that I wanted to learn something new about the supply chain and how it all fitted together with all the way from farm to fork. So that's why I picked working for a retailer on their agriculture team.
I wanted to do a placement on a beef and sheep farm, and that's where my interest mainly lies. And well, the database at Harper provided quite a few placements, and yeah, I found the one that most matched the description of what I wanted to do. I don't come from a farming background at all, so everything's new, but that's where I wanted to, the route I want to go down.
Well, I decided to go and work with Cogent because for a long time it's been seen at the forefront in the bovine genetics sector, really got science and technology at its heart. And of course, like the UK farmer is priority for them. So I wanted to go and work with them just to gain a real range of skills. I actually got the chance to spend time in all different departments, from marketing to sales to labs, to genetics. And I think that range of experience gives you a really good opportunity to see how a corporate company, can work.
I really want to do something with fresh produce, so I narrowed it down to 3 placements. I went on interviews for all 3, and I got them all, very luckily. And then I sort of sat down and thought, would I want to stay in England? One was based in Lincolnshire. So I had a good broad range, but I really wanted to do the sort of international just for 6 months, which was nice because not many placements do offer that.
I had seen the Dale Head Food Scholarship / BQP in my first year, and sort of was quite interested in it. And then in my second year, I spoke to them again, more interest, and then decided that I would go for it, as well as it being a scholarship was a fantastic opportunity. Being from a pig farm at home, so my interest was always very much in pig production. So I sort of did my CV, did my cover letter, sent it off, and got through to the interviews and was fortunate enough to get it.
The whole year was absolutely fantastic, but my biggest highlight would definitely be having the opportunity to work in processing sites, specifically with ABP, who was my placement sponsor, and that was about a month being able to work in specific processing sites up and down the country, processing beef and lamb, and that gave me a chance to see how the whole abattoir and food packing side of those facilities works, and get a hands-on experience of the whole experience from farm to fork.
The main highlight for me was grazing management, because I didn't have the opportunity to undertake this before. So I used the plate meter to manage the grassland to help achieve daily live weight gain targets. Another main highlight of mine was managing the store lambs over winter. They were strip grazed on kale and actually been given sole responsibility during lambing time.
My highlight would probably be working in the bull stud. It's a really unique opportunity actually. Not many people get the chance to go and work in a bull stud, and I got to work there for a couple of weeks. So I saw the whole production cycle, working with the bulls, taking samples, then working in the labs, and then we got to photograph bulls as well at certain points in the year. So really unique opportunity.
The best experience was just meeting all the new people, developing a new language, learning something new, because obviously I have no background in fresh produce, getting that knowledge, that side of things, how they operate, just gaining and retaining that knowledge, which is really important to me.
The highlight from my placement was working with the farmers on the health and safety courses. Sort of 200 farmers coming through over a period of 3 or 4 months was always fantastic. They were great fun, interesting, always wanted to hear what you were doing, and they were very encouraging.
The support network is great. So from Harper Adams' side, you have a placement tutor that visits you either 2 or 3 times during the placement year, and also people that you can regularly contact if you need anything whilst you're away on placement. From Co-op side, I had 2 line managers, one from Co-op and one from ABP. I had weekly meetings with them if I had any issues, and on top of that I had quarterly reviews, so forth, throughout the whole placement, so you could really keep on track with your objectives and get any advice on how they think you should be improving in the role.
There's the university supply so much. There's more placements than students, so you have a huge just variety of ones to pick from. The university asks you what you're interested in, and they'll try and piece together what you need to do, and what they guide you into what roles or what placements would suit you best.
There's fantastic help. The library, as well as the academic services in the top of the centre. I was up there just sort of showing cover letters and CVs, as well as showing it to our head of year at the time. So no, definitely, there's plenty of help.
Before I actually started on placement, there was quite a lot of support from Harper. They were really good at sort of saying, this is what to expect, and not raising our expectations too high, so that when you get into the workplace, it's a different reality. And you spent 2 years in uni, and then you go out into the workplace, and they are totally different worlds. But no, Harper were very good really in preparing us for that. And even whilst we were on placement as well, my placement tutor was really supportive and came out a couple of times and visited us, and it was good to show him the progress we'd made.
I got lots of support by the placement manager. He checked over my application and CV, and then I sent it off, and was successful.
There's a fantastic range of scholarships, and I would encourage anyone to go for it. I personally wasn't intending on going for a scholarship, but liked the job and it happened to be a scholarship. So definitely, if there's a scholarship going, just apply for it because you never know where it's going to lead.
Going on placement really further my knowledge, I think. So in modules this year, I'm bringing ideas that I've learned from placement and also getting ideas from my lectures and actually sending them back to my placement boss of ways to improve the farm.
Placement is fantastic in widening your knowledge and sort of broadening your view of the industries. I think the contacts you gain are very, very helpful in your final year, especially with dissertation and assignments.
I think placement sort of gives you that opportunity to mature a bit. Being in uni for 2 years is fine and it's good and you learn a lot of skills and that academic knowledge, but I think it's really important then to go out and gain those sort of practical skills and those people skills. And then you go out into the workplace and you can apply those and take a bit of a real world knowledge really.
Placement's helped me come back for my final year. It's given me that confidence and that drive to know what I want to do in life. It's given me that background and a bit of a knowledge how to do things differently or how to look at some things differently.
In terms of coming back to Harper, it's definitely made me a more organised individual, learning how to balance all sorts of objectives and responsibilities that you may have on the go at any one time. And in terms of the future, it's given me an understanding of how the whole food retail and processor side of agriculture works. And now hopefully going back into that industry, I'm experienced in how to cope in one of those roles.